Hello there, welcome along to LFC TV's Premier League review show here on YouTube. Now, if you are enjoying the content, do make sure to subscribe for even more of us. We're looking at Sunday's win, which was obviously a really good performance, Mel's, in front of quite a lively crowd, wasn't it, at Anfield? And I think as well, just what the doctor ordered after the last few weeks.
Yeah, nice to get back to winning ways. A different sort of atmosphere. I think the realisation of where we were in terms of the title race, but more of an appreciation shown inside Anfield for Jurgen Klopp and what was, of course, his penultimate home game.
It was indeed. Let's have a look at the starting lineup that he chose for this one against Spurs. And it was just the one change, wasn't it, from the game at West Ham, but a significant change at that. Mo Salah, of course, coming back into the starting 11. And as we will see shortly, played like a man on a mission, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, we'd had 3 Premier League games away, including the one at Atalanta, 4 away games. It was nice to be back at Anfield, and like you say, just that one change from the 2-2 draw away at West Ham. Salah coming back into the front 3, Elliott dropping back into midfield, and Gravenberch dropping to the bench. OK, let's do some number crunching before we get into the action on the stats. We'll start with the attacking stats. And Liverpool, you can see here, looking sharp, creating a lot of chances and critically took the chances, which we've not been able to say so much in recent games. Yeah, I mean, we expected Spurs to have a go. That they're not the sort of side that would come and shut up shop at Anfield. And you can see from the stats there just how open the game was. I mean, we've had 25 shots. They've had double figures themselves. They've had 3 big chances. We've had 4. We've had 13 shots on target, which is certainly really good. Final third entries is interesting. Spurs almost matching Liverpool's of 47 to 46, and also touches in the opposition box. Yes, we had more, but Spurs themselves had 31. But yeah, it was a really good attacking performance from Liverpool, creating loads of chances. Yeah,
there's some interesting stats too in the defence and distribution numbers. Take a look at these, because possession is a really interesting one there. It's very rare that you see a team with more possession at Anfield than Liverpool, and they played more passes as well.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but what you would say is Spurs, they were very comfortable with the ball at the feet. More possession than Liverpool at Anfield. Duels and aerial duels, it was Liverpool dominating those battles against Spurs. Distance covered, very similar. Sprints, very similar. But yeah, the possession one was certainly one that stands out.
Well, time to get into the goals now. And after everything that went on last week, it just had to be, didn't it? Mohamed Salah, of course, it was with the opening goal. Before we show you the goal, we've got the graphic here of the goal sequence. Now, this shows very nicely how it started with the throw-in in the left-back position, you can see there. And then, obviously, it ends up in the net at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit different, isn't it? That, like you say, it starts from a throw-in, a switch of play from Virgil van Dijk out to the right-hand side. Salah's involved in the build-up by the halfway line, and then there's another switch of play, so 2 switches of play before Gakpo delivers the ball for the assist for Salah to tuck away nicely.
OK, let's see it then. It was, of course, Mohamed Salah's 12th goal against Spurs. Only against Manchester United does he have more. 9th league goal against Spurs, and that's the most ever for Liverpool in this fixture.
Yeah, you mentioned it about he's come back into the starting lineup, and he certainly looked hungry to want to influence the game, want to contribute, and he did. Started the game really well. You can see his involvement there towards the halfway line, gets the ball away. There's a switch of play again from Endo, and then Salah wants to get himself into the penalty area. Gakpo delivers the ball, lovely little inviting ball, wasn't it, to the far post, and Salah finishes it off. But how does the goal work? Well, here we go, space. So the diagonal is to try and find the space. Virgil finds the space for Trent. Here we go. Now we can get out from that Spurs press towards us high up the pitch. When Trent plays the ball, I love this. He's got the licence to want to make that run. He doesn't get the ball, but by making that run, it now creates space for somebody else. That's now Endo in that central midfield position. He's got space. He can take a touch. He can pick out a ball. Lovely little ball out to the left wing. Gakpo's there. Diaz was there on occasions. It changed between the pair of them. Look how wide the front 3 are. There really is big space, but Gakpo's now got space on this left wing to drive in and try and create something. And you have to give Andy Robertson credit. Andy Robertson makes the run, and that is the space then that Gakpo can go into. So Robertson makes the run from left full back, really good. Gakpo comes inside, and rather than hitting the shot, he dinks the ball to the far post. Now, the left back, Emerson Royal, is thinking Diaz is offside. I'm going to leave because Diaz is offside, but he doesn't see what's behind him. Salah's clever. He gets on the shoulder of Royal, who doesn't see him. He times his run, as you can see, he's miles onside, and tucks it away there with a nice little header at the far post. So good build-up play from the throw-in in the left-back position. Van Dijk with a diagonal. Trent's involved. Endo's involved as well with a nice little switch of play. But it's when the ball comes to Cody Gakpo again, out on this left-hand side, as he's cutting inside to deliver the ball to the far post, he's got his head up. He's in a position to think, what's the best option? He could go for goal himself and try his luck, but the best option is to find Salah at that far post. And as we say, ball watching from the defender, completely unaware. I think some people were wondering, well, could Salah have headed the ball back across to Diaz in that position? Probably been guilty of missing too many of them chances. So put it in the back of the net and don't worry about it. And that is what Salah does in that position. Beats the goalkeeper on his near post. Maybe the goalie's expecting it to go across and not quite steadies himself. But yeah, nice moment for Salah there to get the opener.
Yeah, he's understandably delighted with that. I think the perfect start, and it was 2-0, wasn't it, before half-time? Andy Robertson with goals now in consecutive league games. It's the very first time, would you believe, he's done it in his whole career.
He hasn't scored at Anfield for 2 years. Who were the opponents, you know?
I don't, but I'm sure you do.
I'll tell them. OK, it was Wolves at home last game of the season. That was his last Anfield goal. But yeah, I mean, 2-2 for him. He scored at West Ham last weekend, scored again today. I thought we deserved this. This was right on the stroke of half-time. We'd been the better side. What we did well was keep the pressure on. That's Harvey Elliot winning the ball, not allowing Spurs to try and break, to get forward, to potentially get an equalising goal. We keep the pressure on. Here we go, 4v4. There's Cody Gakpo in possession. Can we make something from it? Which we do. He ends up finding Harvey Elliott, a little bit of space, gets his shot away. It's a decent save in the end. But again, can we keep the pressure on? Who's next? It's Trent winning the ball. What I like about this is patience. There's no urgency to get the ball back in the box, because look at all those Spurs players. If you can count quick, there's 8 Spurs players inside the penalty area. It's congested. There's not a lot of space to move the ball quickly and try and open them up. So what we do is we're patient. We move the ball. Can we just suck them out? Can we try and get them out of position to then open them up again? And we do. Now there's nobody in the box, but there's still 5 Liverpool players forward to try and get on the end of what we're creating here. So we've worked it well out to the right-hand side. Trent delivers to the far post. I'm sorry about this, Robbo, but sometimes some of your shots have gone high and wide. but it's decision-making, isn't it? Rather than going for that one and leaning back, you would expect it to go over. He picks out the right pass. There's Salah, who gets his shot away. And then Robbo gets the next one. This pass is brilliant from McAllister. Just watch this. So we're being patient here. Look at all the Spurs players. This pass from Alexis McAllister takes out 6 Spurs players. It's brilliant. It's absolutely superb. Into that little bit of space for Trent. Now Trent's got 2 options. Does he play Gakpo, who's got space himself inside the area, screaming at Trent, give me the ball, or he's got another option at the far post, which is the one he decides to go for, which is Andy Robertson at the far post. There we go. Robertson, brilliant. And what, again, I like about this is Andy Robertson's passed the ball to Salah. You've got 3 Spurs players watching Salah, ball watching. What's he going to do? Andy Robertson's anticipating, there might be something more for me. There might be a little rebound, which is exactly what happens. Goalkeeper makes a good save to deny Salah, and Andy Robertson tucks it away. So really good patient build-up from Liverpool. You know, rather than forcing the ball back into the box when you saw all those 8 Spurs players there. And there we go, little tapping. It's a centre-forward stream, but that's your left-back getting there and tapping it in from inside the 6-yard box. And as you said, in form. 2-2 for Andy Robertson. But we deserve that. Right in the stroke of half-time, we'd been dominant, and you were thinking, we need that second goal. We got it just before half-time. Yeah,
it felt like the perfect cushion, didn't it, then going into the break. And then, of course, 5 minutes after the restart, it's 3, isn't it? Some great work here from Harvey Elliot, who obviously we'll see more of it a little bit later on, but a really good header from Cody Gakpo.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, a really good team goal from Liverpool. It was a great start to the second half. Don't allow Spurs to start well and get themselves back into the game at 2-0. We don't. We go on and get the third goal. Andy Robertson got the second goal, but again, really good influence for this one. Doing his job well at left back, and then picking a nice little pass out to Luis Diaz there. There we go, to Luis Diaz. Little diag again, switches play out to this right-hand side to Salah. Great support from Harvey Elliott. Look at this, supporting Mo Salah in that position to win the ball back, and delivers a magnificent ball. What a ball that is. It's an inviting ball to the far post. Who wants to get on the end of it? It's Cody Gakpo. So brilliant from Robbo in the left-back position. Watch the run from Harvey Elliott. He runs off the back of Bentancur and he wants to support the attack. How can I support the attack? Here we go. he reads the game really well, because Emerson Royale, we showed him with one of the early goals, doesn't really see what's around him. He doesn't see what's around him again. But Harvey Elliot recognises, I could nick the ball off him. If he turns this way, I can nick the ball. So really clever play from Harvey Elliot to win the ball back. Wants to get it onto his left foot, and this is top quality. That's the right back from Spurs. I mean, obviously they're trying to get back in the game, but he's just nowhere near it. The right back's miles off it. There's space at the far post. We've got two players. Diaz is there as well. But it's a really good header from Cody Gakpo. And this angle shows you nicely, because he's up against Romero, who's a decent centre-half, certainly when the balls come into the penalty area. But he jumps early. And this is what's key. Because Gakpo jumps early, Romero's not jumped yet. And so he's got the momentum there to win the ball ahead of the centre-half. And the centre-half can never jump to be able to out-jump him in that position. So jumps early and then guides it into the corner nicely from Cody Gakpo. No chance for the goalkeeper to make it 3-0.
Yeah, very well finished by Cody Gakpo, but as you say, Harvey Elliot instrumental in making that goal. And of course, 9 minutes later, he himself makes it 4, and it was such a beauty, wasn't it? No doubt goal of the day, this one.
When you're constructing a goal of the season contenders, this has got to come into it. I mean, everyone at Anfield was like, wow, what a goal this was. Absolutely magnificent. It really was. Top bin, that's what it was. He's involved with the build-up by the halfway line there. Lovely little switch of play. We've seen that in a couple of goals already, haven't we? There we go, from Trent out to the left-hand side. Pick up the second ball. It's Salah to pick up the second ball into the path of Harvey Elliot. And this is just an absolutely magnificent strike. No goalkeeper in the Premier League is going to save that. I don't think any goalkeeper in the world would save that. Absolutely magnificent. It really is. So the switch of play nicely from Trent out to the left-hand side. Two full-backs combining. Deliver the ball, we don't get on the end of it, but we do pick up the second ball. And what I like about this from Salah, and people will say, well, it's an assist, what does he really do? But rather than putting the ball back in, which he can do, you can see there's 3 players in the back post for Liverpool, he sees Harvey Elliott's got the space, right? OK, I'll give you the ball, and you can either deliver it or make something else happen. So, good decision from Salah, just to play the ball into the space for Harvey Elliott. This touch is key. Some players might shoot there, he's under a little bit of pressure. Shot gets blocked, nothing comes from it. Just shifts it a yard or so away from the Spurs midfield, and then he's in space to get the shot away. Absolutely superb from Harvey Elliott. Top class, it really is. There we go. Good little angle to show you. Edge of the box, just outside the D. He's aiming for that corner. Goalie's giving him a little bit of space, but that's magnificent. Right in the top corner. Absolutely superb. One last little angle to show you. Here we go. Front arm. Bends it into that far top corner, and just watch the reaction of, there's Cody Gakpo. He cannot believe what he's... And that was the reaction inside Anfield.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what a goal that was. So that was Harvey's first Premier League goal since the one against Luton.
Let's see what that win means for the table. Obviously, Champions League football is now secure. Liverpool cannot finish any lower than 3rd. Quite interesting, a little bit lower down, isn't it? You look at Spurs, who obviously were hoping for 4th, have now lost 4 games in a row and probably worried about holding on to 5th by the fingernails, with Newcastle putting a bit of a run together end of season. Manchester United, can they finish higher than 8th, Neil?
Yeah, who knows? They've certainly struggled, haven't they? I mean, what you would say is, because of the way the format is with European football, 5th is no longer Champions League. In future years, it might be. It won't be this year. And it won't filter down quite as low down. So 6th, 7th might be maximum for European football this season. So United, Chelsea, Newcastle, one of them may well end up missing out.
OK, thanks, Mels. That is it from us two for this week. Just 2 games left, can you believe it, of this season. It is a Monday night match that is next up against Aston Villa next week. So that means we are back with a review show for that one on Tuesday. We'll see you then. Goodbye.